Hi, how you doing there, folks? This video is in response to this article that was in the New York Post. It's in response to the article that was in the New York Post. It's about the TWU, the Transit Workers Union, Local 100, that drive the New York City Transit buses and subways, and the employees. They're talking about doing an illegal slowdown, folks. Now, first of all, there's one thing I want to get straight. The conductors, the motormen that run the subways, the booth clerks, the bus drivers, they make more money than most of the riders that use these buses and subways. They make more money than most of the riders that depend on these buses and subways. And a lot of people that ride these buses and subways live in ghettos and sometimes don't even have $30 to their name. Folks, barely enough money just to get around. And New York is a huge city that you can't walk from one end to the other. Okay? So what is going on here? What is going on here is they were given 11% raise from arbitration, and now this is as the MTA is facing budget deficits, riders are facing fare increases, you know, people that could barely afford to even pay anymore. Come on, folks. With $67 to buy an unlimited use Metro card to get around on the buses and subways in New York. A monthly Metro card, 30 days. It was 67. 2009, 2009, it's 89, about to go up into the 90s. Talking about two more fare increases. This 11% raise goes through. You're talking about possibly over $100, folks. And all the money that went for these fare increases, that's all the money I would have had saved, folks. All went to just getting around. Now, the way I see it here, the court should throw out that 11% raise. It is fair that they should get somewhat of a raise, because it's just plain common sense, for morale purposes, ego, that you should at least get something, So, what they should get, and the fact is expenses have gone up, they should get 4% of a raise, but they are making more money than most people that ride these buses and trains. And with overtime, there's bus drivers and subway workers that are pushing over 100 grand a year. No overtime. You're talking. They make easily 1,000 a week take home. Most people in New York don't even make that much. Pretty much average about 250, $300 a week, folks. So most people that ride the buses and subways in New York. If these people, these transit workers, and they did the illegal strike in 2005, let me pull this here so you can maybe read it. Okay? Okay. Let me try to do this. Forget about it. The camera's funny here. The camera's not allowing, right here. The camera's not allowing it to happen. There we go. Okay, it's in the New York Post. You just get this off the internet. You know, get this off the internet. Or those of you that bought it probably read it. Because the name of the article is Fight the Outrage. Make TWU pay for any illegal slowdown. Okay? They're talking about doing a slowdown. Possibly, more than likely, bus drivers driving buses with a not in service sign on when they're really on regular runs. Okay? Bus drivers like in the M103, the running routes that go further down will have a route that's not even the route that they're driving. They're on purpose gonna come early, making people miss connections and all that. You're talking about a whole bunch. You talk about a whole bunch of garbage. That they're probably planning. You know what? If they do this, write them up, write them up, and if they do another illegal strike, now I was for this. I was actually for this. In 2005, I was saying they go on strike illegally. Really, Mayor Bloomberg should have did what Ronald Reagan did. He should have just came up and said like this. He's got 24 hours to come back to work. Whoever don't come back in 24 hours, gonzo. Bye bye. You no longer ever get another state government job again. Or a city job. That's what Mayor Bloomberg should have did that for Governor Pataki right by his side. That's what they really should have did. They didn't do that. Ronald Reagan did it, and you know what? You know what? When the air traffic controllers went on strike, you know what? That was a very good move. That's how you fight illegal strikes. You're talking about high-paid crybabies that are making more money than most of the people that actually ride these buses and subways. Prima transit prima donnas. The most now they should get some raise. 4% would be is fair. 4%, 1.5 each year, 1.5, 3, 4.5% under the circumstances. Now, if there actually was a true surplus and everything was fine and dandy, the economy was steamrolling right along, everything's going good, you know, you know, everything's going good. Big minimum wage increases where common folks, business soaring. You're talking about real boom times like in 2001. I could understand. Then I can understand I'm getting maybe I can understand I'm maybe getting 6-7%, but even then they're making more than most of the people that actually ride these buses and subways, folks. And New York City Transit has got to get the costs under control. We're easily heading for the $100 Metro card, and that's absolutely inexcusable. And the New York City and the state, and along with the federal government, need to start subsidizing mass transit operating costs at the levels that they were being funded before the cuts were made under Ronald Reagan. Federal government doesn't subsidize anything towards operating aid to mass transit systems, and they should on the levels before Ronald Reagan came into office. The state needs to start subsidizing on the levels before Pataki came in, and the city, over the past 8 years, has cut has cut operating aid to mass transit. You know, you're talking about the past 16 years drastically, and those levels need to be brought up to the levels they were before Giuliani came into office. You know, and in this way you prevent these budget deficits. You get the whole name of the game is to get not to be increasing fares. The name of the game is to get fares lower. The name of the game is not to do service cuts. The name of the game is to do service increases. Get people out of their cars and onto mass transit, not lowering amounts of service and doing fare increases. That's driving riders off. The name of the game, and mass transit saves billions of gallons of gas from being burnt each year.